Hi.
Hello.
Welcome. This is going to be the live discussion for like the end of the Daevabad trilogy and the River of Silver, which is the companion book full of short stories, full of spoilers for like the whole thing, for everything. So I'm Kim from this channel, Expedition 3 Pages, and we've got Manny.
Hi, I'm Manny from Reading with Manny. Very excited to be here, like always.
And Emily.
Hello from Emily Bethel.
Yeah. And this is going to be like completely spoiler filled because we literally can't do it without spoilers straight off the bat, I guess. Although I suppose we can like say kind of our overall feelings about the series as a whole. So did you want to start, Manny?
Sure. I loved it. I thought it was a really good exploration of, I found it fascinating as, what's the word I'm looking for? Like an insight into the way that S.A. Chakraborty writes. Because if you read like her introduction where she explains how she came about like compiling all of this and how some of these stories were like little snippets that she had written just to have the character more clear in her head, or like a scene that would be referenced later in the series, but she wouldn't have space to put it in the main series. So I found that fascinating. To kind of see the process and noticing things and like, oh yeah, this is mentioned in the story, or like, oh yeah, this makes sense because the character is like this. And yeah, I was so happy to like be back in that world even for just a little bit longer, because I really liked the whole series. So yeah, it was great.
Yeah. How about you, Emily?
Yeah, same. I absolutely loved it. And this is the kind of short story situation that can work for me. And I haven't tried too many, but maybe I'll try some more and kind of venture into it, just see if there's stuff that can work for me. But it doesn't tend to work because I tend to be the one that loves long series. I love diving in. I love seeing characters develop and worlds develop, which you just can't really do in a short amount of space. But for things like this, where they very much assume that you have read whatever world it's a part of, or like Neil Schusterman did this with Gleanings for the Scythe world, like very much assume you already have read it. Like they don't need to do the world building, they don't need to introduce the characters, and they can just kind of go in and just give you that little bit of extra, either just time in the world, or for some of these, I was like, oh, I was wondering what that was like from that character's perspective. Or, getting to see some things that are mentioned, but you get to see it a little bit more in some of these side stories, and it's just a nice little bonus. So yeah, this is the stuff that can work for me, and it was just so fun to be back in this world.
I guess I found it similar to both of you. So like you, Manny, I just found it really interesting that I never thought about the writing process before, and how, of course, you're creating all these characters, so you have to have like the main stories for everyone written in your head. You don't have to probably, but if you want things to all link up and make sense. So I really like that. And then the same as you, Emily, I just liked getting like, what I liked reading about it was actually reading a story and then knowing what was going to happen to that character. I like, you don't know what's coming. That's kind of what I liked about it as well. When you do have the full picture and you're going right back to the beginning. I like the way it was laid out, like in order of trilogy, because it kind of got you back into the story and remembering bits and pieces as well. I thought it was laid out really well.
Yeah. And I hadn't even thought about the ordering of it. But when she was like, these will be in chronological order, I was like, oh, that actually is going to be really nice.
Very sense.
And it made sense that, I mean, it was not necessarily a pandemic book. She said she had written quite a bit of this before, but just, returning to a comfortable world during a very uncertain, like tumultuous time. Like that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Definitely.
So, sorry, go on, Manny. What were you going to say?
No, that I was, pleasantly surprised at how much she could pack into each of the stories. I do enjoy usually short story collections in general. I do like a good short story, and I think that the art of the short story is that, like, being able to include as much as you can in the short medium. And obviously it helps that you know the world already and you know the characters. You don't need to do the groundwork like you were saying, Emily. But yeah, I was still like enjoying so many little aspects of getting to see like side characters or that kind of thing that really surprised me, I guess, in a good way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. So should we go to like the first story?
Yeah.
Although I may need like a little bit of a reminder because I read it so long ago, this first story.
Honestly, I should have written myself like just a couple of sentences about each one just to jog my memory, because honestly,
that's nice. That's gonna be helpful.
Same.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be flipping through to try to remember. Okay, yeah. Oh, it was Manaiza's story, like saying goodbye to her son and then going back to Gasan.
Absolutely terrifying to read. Like, no. It's awful to be in her head. My God. I mean, I think I mentioned this maybe in my vlog. I can't remember where I mentioned it, but I like to see like a good villain story, I guess, like villain origin story, because you do feel for her because like everything in her life was pretty traumatic, but then you remember what she did and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Yeah. It's like, why do I feel bad for you? No, make it stop. But yeah, like just like Mama giving up her baby, and you're like, okay, this is real sad.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. I guess it does well to illustrate like how violence and trauma just never breed good things, and just lead to a whole cycle of more violence and more horrible things.
Yeah.
But hard.
Yeah, and how it affects future generations too. Because I think this was the one where like she's talking to like a baby Montadir, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Where were you? Why didn't you save my mother?" Like, and then she's like, "I didn't get it in time," which, okay, technically not true, but still, it's like more complicated. And she can't like explain to little baby Montadir. And then he's like, "Oh, they said you would lie. You're just a liar." And he's like, feel for her. Like, she's just in an impossible situation. But
so bad.
What was I going to say? I was going to go in order, but actually I feel like it kind of makes sense to then maybe... Well, the next story was about Duria, I guess.
Oh,
and about...
I love this one.
My heart. Yeah.
Oh my heart. Yeah, as you said, I want a whole book about her, honestly. Like, please. I want a whole book about her.
Yeah.
I want fan fiction where she gets to live and they're all happy.
Like
you plans together. Yeah.
Because you feel so cheated that both of Nari's mom and dad had that ending. Like, it's so tragic because they both seemed like such decent, nice people. That heartbreaking.
And their meeting is just
so you're right. We need some family where they live.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, sorry. What do you think?
Their meeting was so cute and so funny and heartwarming. I love them.
Yeah. Like they bonded over.
It did interest me that I guess that he didn't seem to have any kind of worry that she was Shafi at all.
Yeah, he seemed like very open-minded and like open in general, even though life had been so difficult for him. So yeah,
that's true. I can't remember Hasset's story. Oh, that was when she goes to go and meets. That was kind of creepily written, actually, wasn't it? Because, you could see her kind of enthusiasm for it, and then just suddenly it's come crashing down so quickly after she had built up these high expectations of like, oh, he is a decent guy. Like, actually, he's really nice, and we can be a power couple, and everything will be really great. And then straight away, he did that awful thing.
Yeah.
To Rustum. What's his name? Rustum.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think I said in the Discord, like, I'm just gonna focus on the good parts of the story because it all just reminded me again of how horrible Ghassan was. But yeah, I loved getting to see Ali's grandfather. I thought he was hysterical. He was a great character.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah. And it shows really how complex the politics of the thing were, of the place were, and Hatset being like dipping her toes into that, but still kind of knowing what she was getting into.
But hoping for the best.
Yeah. She seems badass. I like her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. Sorry, guys, my internet keeps cutting out. So
you're good.
Yeah.
No, you.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. I really, really loved the Scout story.
Oh, that one was brutal. Oh my god.
I really just didn't know what was happening for such a long time. I was like, who are these people? Like, trying to rack my mind of like what, and then when I realized it was so good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I got so angry. So
it was very well done story.
Absolutely awful, and that's the only time where I've backed her.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, you show him what you can do, mate. Like,
yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, he kind of deserves it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was really upset that like for the character who we were seeing from his perspective, like the good one, I was like, do something, like stand up for him. I was so praying that was going to happen.
And he's just laying there.
That was like the worst part, was that he was just shielding his eyes, shielding his ears. Yeah. She was very good at writing like disturbing moments like that, I think.
Like you could feel it. My skin was just crawling.
Yeah, I knew from the beginning what type of story was going to be, because I kind of recognized, like, you know, later in the series we do get scouts that were captured by Dara and everything.
Yeah.
So, are these the same ones that I realized that the names were not the same, or like the characters didn't match? Oh, what's going to happen to these guys? And when you realize immediately that one of them at least is just a terrible, terrible person, you're like, okay, all right, yeah, this is gonna be creepy. I like it. It really was.
I couldn't work out who the girl was though, because I just don't think I really understood like necessarily who was in that camp. I don't think.
Yeah,
I'm guessing she was just
a random maid, basically. Yeah.
I'm guessing
part of her. Yeah, just I don't think she's mentioned in the series.
Seem familiar.
I don't know. No.
I don't know. Maybe she was mentioned somewhere. I'm just like completely forgetting.
Maybe.
So, shall we talk about the best couple? Montadir and Jamshed.
Their stories were so cute.
I love them. I love them so much.
I had wanted to see them. Like, I'm glad that we got to see them meeting and kind of getting to know each other. Because I had been curious in the series, like, what was that like? And I was like, oh, we get to see this.
It was adorable, like reading from their perspectives, and even the end, like when they both have these horrible things that they've done to one another, and it was still like sweet, even though it was horrific. And I don't know if I could ever get past that, not gonna lie.
It is a lot of baggage, but I'm glad that we got to see them talking it out, because like in the original ending of the series, you don't get that resolution. I was so glad to see it, and like they have centuries to work it out, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
They live longer, it's fine.
The benefits of having a super long life.
But it was great to see them meeting and the relationship like progressing, and then the whole thing with Nari and the conversations that they have, like so good. Such a good, well-written relationship. I loved it.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I thought like reading more about Munster and Nari, like I just felt so bad, because like both of those characters did not deserve that situation at all. So you can't just only sympathize with Nari because you know that Minster is just not into it either. And you kind of think like you often read about those like arranged marriages only from the women's point of view. But you don't think like the man has to perform as well. And like must be hard for them too sometimes, you know. So yeah, I thought that was hard to read when she was just like when he gave her the art book.
That was so,
oh my gosh.
that was so sweet. I love that moment.
Yeah.
Poor Nari.
Yeah, that was really
like it shows that he was trying to like, you know, make the best of the situation, although obviously it wasn't
his idea.
the pressure of like having babies or whatever to like producing an heir. Yeah, that's not
I love
easy.
when she was like, tell John just thanks for me.
Yeah, because I meant to
Like, we know this was not you, right? But I appreciate the thought.
Oh, miss him. Must be so hard.
Yeah.
What other Nari stories did we have? Oh, it was the ending with Ali.
Just at the end.
Ali.
What happened in Dara's story? I'm forgetting what happened in Dara's story.
Dara's story. What was it?
Dara. As soon as that started, I was like, no. I don't get more time.
Hold on.
We had two, right? Because we had the really interesting other epilogue.
Yes.
That one was really cool.
That one was really cool. None of us commented on the Dara story, so clearly
less memorable.
Discord. I can't remember, where was it? Like where in the
I think it was when him and Nari first got there, was it?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, and she's
just traveling.
Yeah, they're traveling.
Oh yeah. He's stealing the boots and stuff like that, and he's like, "Come on, what are you doing?"
Starting to like warm up to her, like
Okay, I do remember this being a fun scene, and I'm like,
I think I liked it for what it was. I thought it was fun, like in the middle of that. You know, if you put yourself in the moment of when reading The City of Brass, like you don't know anything about Dara, it's
like I can see why it was cut out because there were other scenes that kind of got to the same point, but
yeah, definitely. But it was that was one of the moments that was interesting, and like going back to that point, knowing everything. After that was
really his perspective too, of like the guilt that he's already feeling about going back to Daevabad, all of that. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But I actually really loved like the alternate epilogue.
Yes.
I feel like it definitely like opens the door to like a whole second trilogy.
Like, can you please continue this story? I mean, maybe it is, who knows?
Definitely read a book like Zainab and Dara traveling with I forgot her name.
What is her name?
Oh my god.
Lisa? No.
Oh yeah, you got the book there.
Yeah, I'm like literally because
I need
at some point they just kind of all blur together.
Yeah, it's totally true. But yeah, those three would be so.
That's a great like adventure story waiting to happen. That definitely I would read. I would definitely read.
They just both end up at the same random tavern.
Yeah, far-fetched, but still good.
I see it like reluctant allies kind of thing. Should be very funny if
she's gonna buy you a drink.
It was weird because I was listening to it, but I had the second story in the back of my physical book. I don't know if it was the same for you guys. But it wasn't matching with the audio. It was like slightly different, and they really pushed hard. I guess the audio is probably maybe newer than the one that
I would assume.
Yeah, because it so they were pushing the relationship with Zainab and her companion like a lot more in the audio than they were implying that there was like more of an interest there than in the short story at the back of the book, I thought. So it wasn't much that was different, but it was interesting how she decided to change it to make it more obvious that was what's going on. Yeah.
Interesting. Didn't know that.
Yeah. because I was like, wait, what's happening? So I was like, what?
That's
Mm-hmm.
And then, Ali stories.
Oh yeah, okay. The first one of just like adding to the lore there.
Yeah, that's the one that Kim didn't really like, right?
No, don't write a story. I didn't know. I didn't want to. I get it. I liked it for what it was, but then because it was so like not in the same world, like it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it had been like, I don't know. I was waiting at the end for his memory to get wiped a bit or something to happen for it to make a bit of sense. But then it didn't, and fair enough. But then I thought actually it would have been cool if his memory was wiped, and then for some reason like the main sea monster thing like had got all those statues, like just basically took them, and so that wood or the earth monster was like screwed over by her basically. I don't know. I thought it was fine.
I liked it as a mini adventure in the middle of poor Ali's exile. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was fun, and I like seeing like the little I don't know, I guess parallels to what actually then ends up happening in the series.
Yeah, like what she's taken from it to use. I don't know. I think just with Ali and Nari, like I was so wanted their story at the end, and it just wasn't. It was just brushed over so much. So that I think by the time we got to Ali's story in there, I was like, no, what do we do about him and Nari? Like I don't care about this random woman.
Yeah. But then we get to see something in the hospital, right? Yes. The second Ali story is
I love the hospital scene.
That was great. Yeah. The hospital is one of my favorites. He's there planning, and Nari comes in and they talk. It's just when they are finally like getting back to talking to each other, I guess.
Oh yeah. I do remember. Yeah. That was very sweet.
I don't remember exactly what they say, but they end the conversation in a better place with each other, I guess.
They're just so cute.
They are. I love them.
Yeah. And I did like when we finally got more about them and their relationship, then it made sense why Chakravorty didn't add it into the story, because I don't think it really was clear to me that he would need all that time, or Nari would need all that time. Which does make sense for both of them, really.
Yeah, they're both very traumatized people.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Although I did enjoy Zainab's companion winding up Dara and pretending like, well, they're busy. He's like, he's literally fuming. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yes, agreed. But then, yes, Ali's, no, it's Nari's the last story, right? Yeah, when she goes to find him in the river.
Yeah, and she's got him the mask.
That was Zainab's story. I like Zainab's story too. Let's see.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened though, but I remember
wait.
Like it wasn't even that long ago, and I'm like, what even happened? I don't know.
What happened?
Did Zainab have a different story other than the epilogue?
Yeah, it did.
When she, right after magic disappears.
And she's trying to keep shit together.
Yeah,
I do remember. And she has to go and talk to all those men. Like,
charge. It was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of a low key badass.
Yeah, she definitely is. Definitely.
And
they had to be,
Yeah,
didn't have much of a choice for that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I just remembered that I never put on my TBR her other book, The Adventures. The Adventures of
Al-Sarafi.
I think I should read that one soon.
It's so good.
Oh, you've already read it, Emily?
Yeah.
Is it better than this trilogy, do you reckon, or just different?
It's very different.
Okay.
Although it is loosely connected to the world. Like it is set in the same world, but like a long time before, and so you don't really realize the connection until I won't say anything, but anyway.
Oh, interesting.
That is interesting.
It
Yeah,
is
I'd like
fun.
to want to read it like 10 times more now.
Yeah, like it's just. I mean, also Rafi's a badass. Surprise, surprise. And she's just like this kick-ass pirate going to save this girl. Like it's great. It's fun.
Is it
And
a
there are all-
standalone?
yeah, and there are all sorts of creatures they come across in their sea adventure. Like she gets the crew back together that she used to be the captain for. Yeah, it's like she's getting the crew back together. They're on a ship on the high seas. All sorts of creatures and shenanigans ensue. It's great.
And she's like in her 40s, right?
Yeah, she's like in her 40s. She's retired. She just wants to raise her daughter and live a quiet life, and then
And then she's gotta go.
And then the grandmother of the girl who's been taken is the mother of someone that she used to be on her crew, and so anyway. So she's connected in that way, like through the crew that she's getting back together. She's connected to the person who's taken, and the grandmother offers her a ton of money, and she's like, "Fine,
All right, I'm in.
all right."
Yeah.
So you think she's writing more? That's so interesting. I wonder if like all her books will be loosely based in the same world. I do love that. I feel like you can make a whole world. Like you can have so much.
You can just play in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm hoping we'll get the next. I'm hoping we'll get the next book soon. I wanna. Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't really realize that she was an American girl. Oh gosh, she's so much younger than me. She's not so much younger than me, but you know, you're like, these people achieve so much, but they're so young.
Like, what have I done with my life? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I really realized she was American.
Mm-hmm. I knew that. How old is she then?
Well, she's not that. No, to you guys, she won't be young. 38.
Oh.
She's not. Yeah. But to me, now I'm 40. Anything 30s, I'm like, so
youngster.
I'm turning 35 next year.
Are you?
I'll be turning 35 in April.
How?
In April, 35.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. The other day, my students were making a presentation about music. They chose the topic, and they did a slide that was called Old Pop. Like, they were discussing different genres. And in Old Pop, as examples, they put Michael Jackson, which, okay, fair. And then the Spice Girls. And then Avril Lavigne.
No!
It was
yeah, when it becomes nostalgia and like retro.
Like, this is like my middle school.
Okay. My colleague the other day said to me, "What year were you born?" I was like, "Oh, 84," and she audibly gasped, and then said, "Wait, you were a teenager in the 90s? Like, what was that like?"
Wild times, I'm sure.
I was like, it was great. We didn't know anything about anything, so we had a great time. Like, ignorance is bliss, right?
It really was great. Yeah, I agree. I've been telling my students that they are ruined. Like, social media has ruined them. And
You know too much, too young.
Yeah.
How many times did y'all watch Spice World? Like, that's what I thought of when you were saying Spice. I can't tell you how many times.
What a masterpiece. I rewatched that a few years ago, and it's still amazing.
Really? Okay, I need to rewatch it.
I don't think I have ever seen it. I must have seen it when it came out. I don't remember it.
It's delightful from what I remember as a kid obsessed with the Spice Girls.
So funny.
I did see the Spice Girls, though. I saw them when I was younger, yeah. I can't remember anything about the gig, but I know I saw them.
So jealous.
Amazing.
So jealous. Yeah. Nobody comes here to Uruguay.
And I remember they came back for the London Olympics, too.
I remember
Good. That was fun.
Yeah.
The London Olympics were great.
The
London Olympics were great. I remember really enjoying the ceremonies, like at the beginning and at the end.
Aww.
Maybe because I do love British culture, I guess, for some reason. I'm a Anglophile. Right, like every person that appeared, I was like, oh my god. Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I thought the Spice Girls were old.
Oh, that's cool.
So amazing.
Rude.
Yeah, so I was going to say before we wrap up the whole series, what was your favorite bits? Do you have like a favorite bit? I think I do.
I think I mentioned before I really loved in Kingdom of Copper. Yeah, second book. All the hospital planning, building scenes were great. Like all the manipulation that went on at the beginning to like make the hospital happen, and then them working together and getting to see Ali and Nari reconnecting, and I love that part. And then it got all ruined, but yeah.
Honestly, might have been like some of my favorite stuff too. I love the hospital plotline.
And I guess I loved the endings of the books, like the cliffhangers that it leaves you in, like the twists. And yeah, I really think that she's a great author for like making those twists exciting, and like you don't really see them coming, or you see them coming like right before. Makes it for a very exciting read, I guess. And yeah.
I think she wasn't always predictable.
Yeah.
So yeah, it left you, because I think that was my favorite part, was the operation on Ali scene, because I was legitimately pacing up and down. Like I was so nervous about that whole situation. Yeah, she wrote those scenes well.
Yeah, and just overall the character work. I mean, even if you hate them, like they're well written characters.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Just all the in the library, like as I said in the first one, like I want to work in that royal library. I feel like that would, like all the time that she and Ali spent like going back and forth to the library and researching. That was fun.
And I would think as well, like imagine being in a library where everything is in scroll form.
Yeah, not that convenient, I guess.
No, but I bet it looks really cool. But it could probably get old really quick trying to look for something that you want.
Yeah, I'm glad we invented books.
Yeah.
You also be able to fly around on a carpet while in the library, you know?
Yeah. That's the thing. Like when magic left them, my God, that's like the whole world just like gone to trash completely.
That was so shocking. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. The fact that it was like everywhere as well, not just Daevabad. She like properly went all out for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now she just needs to finish the Amina series, come back and write a book about Duria, and
the spin-off
continue spin-off. Yeah, with Zainab, Akisa, and Dara.
Akisa, yeah, that's it. With like side chapters where we can see like Nari and Ali's like kids and stuff.
Yes.
See their like dynasty growing, whatever. Yeah,
there could be a whole spin-off just about what their kids get up to. Like I'm sure some shenanigans can happen and the kids need to save the world again. And then Ali and Nari can be like, back in our day, and just like trying to like keep them in.
It'd be interesting actually with both of their magic, like what their kids would be able to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't even considered that.
Yeah.
Especially given how they don't conceive that easily. It's mentioned many times, so
that's
it will be
true.
interesting to see like how that comes about. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're basically like different kind of species, I guess now, in a way.
Sort of.
Yeah, Ali's been stripped of his fire, so would that even work? Interesting.
Well, if they could with humans, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because humans were Earth, weren't they? So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So
that's why I love these short story collections though, because it just makes you realize just how many little threads could end up just being a whole other spin-off in the world that you want to see.
I could definitely reread the series because I just think there's so much that I just didn't pick up on because it was so intricate. Even though like it was quite like easy to follow in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Not all the background stuff. The background stuff was quite challenging, I think.
Even reading it a second time.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you've read it before.
Still hard the second time sometimes.
You need like a special like reference book that comes with it.
Yeah, I kept forgetting about, in the end of the book there is like glossary.
Yeah, you're right.
I kept forgetting about it because since I have it digitally, I was like, it's kind of more difficult to navigate. I need to get them physically so I can, first of all, own them because they're very pretty and I want them on my shelves. But yeah, I would reread them in the future too. So, oh my God, it's getting very windy.
Is that wind?
Oh yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I'm right next to there's like a little courtyard thing in. There's like the buildings around it kind of make like a vacuum of air. I don't know how to explain it. So if the window is open, it makes that noise. So yeah, that's fun. I think a storm is coming, which is great because I have to go now in a bit to my sister's birthday celebration. So yeah, it's gonna be great coming out in the storm. But yeah, it's a spring storm. I'm fine. I'm fine with that because it means that it's finally not winter. So.
Oh, bless you. Oh, thank you so much, guys, for joining me doing this. I had a lot of fun. Like,
great.
We'll need to think of another series to do.
Yes. We need to figure out something else to buddy read.
Yeah, definitely. I think, Manny, don't we still need to read Pachinko with Amy? Didn't we say we were going to do that? I think we did.
Let's say that, yes.
Yeah. Have you read Pachinko, Emily?
I haven't.
No, I feel like, You what, sorry?
What was that?
I said I wasn't sure if it was your kind of book or not.
It's up. So because I've heard such good things, it's on my list, but it's not what I typically gravitate towards. But I will do some historicals like that. It's just less frequent.
Yeah.
But since
maybe we need to get in touch with Amy and see when she's free.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Right. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining me.
Cool.
And we'll speak to everyone in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.